What is up, guys? We are back, and I am going to be showing you the Chronomancer, is what I want to kind of call it. This one is kind of almost going to be roughly around the same meta in regards to whenever the mercenary element was around. This one is for people that either want to be strictly annoying, or you just want to have different playability, which I like this style too, compared to bursting and other sorts of that. It's completely different, even though the playstyle is roughly about the same. The only difference is that you're going to be running the new Scepter since it got buffed from the previous patches, and now Scepter has increased its liability in regards to its playstyle, kind of how it was when the game first came out around 2012, especially when you did a lot of World v. World stuff for a lot of tournament pressure. So that's basically what we're going to be doing, is trying to do close range battle while doing mid-range fights as well. Just because the Scepter is 900 range, we want to try to be as close to the fight but not as far from the fights, that way we could apply pressure. Our survivability is roughly low, but with carry on, we're going to have a little bit extra health, but we don't have any extra armor in regards to the mercenary element, which is why this build was very disgusting when it came down to the sword shield meta. But without further ado, let's just jump right into this. So what I'm going to be running is I'm going to be running Scepter Shield. Scepter has a block, which is on a 4-second cooldown the way that it's going to be traded, which I'm going to be showing you in just a second. And the shield has a nice block as well, so you're going to be able to block a lot of heavy hits, especially when you're getting more into it. You're able to read things that are going on because you're going to be not face to face, but when you do get face to face, you're able to put the pressure on them, because when we're extremely close bounds, that's when we're the most deadly, because the block's going to be applying a lot of amount of torment. We're going to be shattering, so all of our shatters are going to be applying torment, so we're going to watch the people practically just kill themselves. The other weapon I'm going to be running is going to be the staff. So the staff is going to be your bread and butter in regards to both offense and defense at the same time. So the Chaos Storm is going to be your best friend in regards to giving you the buffs that you need for Aegis, Retaliation, and Swiftness, on top of chilling your foes, poisoning them, and weakening them, and on top of giving them some daze. And it kind of helps your teammates too by being able to get some extra protection while you're fighting on point. And Phantasmal Warlock hits like a truck, even though that we're not spec'd in any form of crit. It's going to do a lot of amount of damage just because it's based off of how many condies are on them, and since it's PvP, there's going to be a lot of condies on the person. Phase Retreat is going to help us kind of mitigate between getting in the fight and getting out of pressure, while it's going to be generating clones. So we're going to be having clones all over the place, on top of being able to stay in the fight and be quite healthy on our health bar. The auto attack is going to be roughly good in regards to when everything else is down. You want to try to have chaos armor up whenever you are getting attacked, on top of everything else, just because it gives you random boons, and then also gives the foes random conditions whenever you're struck. So you get protection, regeneration, and swiftness, while you give them confusion, just because that's how we are traded, which we're going to be going over that in just a second. But the auto attack is pretty nice, just random fury, random might. We don't really care about the fury, but the might's kind of nice just because the condies do stack up very quickly, and with it being bleeding and burning, it does do heavy damage. But the moment that we can weapon swap back, we want to try to swap back to Scepter Shield as much as possible, because that's where we're going to be our most condition damage based stuff. So use staff whenever means necessary in regards to trying to be very defensive, and when you don't think that Scepter is going to make it in that particular fight, but kind of just using your discretion. So utility bar, we're going to be using Ether Feast. I'm going to be using Signet of Illusion, Portal, Blink, and of course the good old Moa. So nothing's really changed compared to what the traditional utilities are. I like running Signet of Illusion just because your illusions get a little bit more health. So let's just jump down to the traits. So the traits are going to be Inspiration, Illusions, and Chronomancer. So under Inspiration is pretty much just going to be the straight up norm of what any other mesmer is going to be running. So you're going to be running Persisting Images, Restorative Illusions, and Mental Defense. This is just allowing us to just have extra defense on top of getting extra buffs in regards to our clones and phantasms that we're generating. So our illusion trait line is going to be where things kind of start getting a little bit gnarly. So when we're shattering, we're going to be inflicting confusion, and when we're shattering, phantasms recharge a little bit faster. It did get nerfed a little bit, but going from 2 seconds to 1 second isn't too big of a difference. It's going to add up anyways. Maim the Disillusion is going to be flat out disgusting, especially when you do end up getting into a group fight and you're just plastering Torment all over the place. So Shattering Skills inflict Torment on hit. And then last but not least on this is going to be Malicious Sorcery. So this one is only for people that are going to be running Scepter, because if you're not running Scepter, there's no point for this one, because this one is specifically just for the Scepter. So it increases the attack speed while wielding a Scepter and reduces recharge on the Scepter skill, so allows you to be able to inflict as much conditions as fast as possible. So next one is going to be the Chronomancer. So we're going to do Time Catches Up, Improved Alacrity, and Chrono Phantasma. Pretty much the norm. The only thing that's difference between all the other stuff is just flat out the illusion trait. So everything else is roughly about the same except for just that illusion trait line for that extra Connie stuff. So on the weapons, we're going to be running Scepter Shield with Doom and Hydromancy, and Staff with Doom and Hydromancy. I just like running both just because Poison's nice, just so that the heals are cut by half, and chilling them reduces their cooldowns of all their spells, and on top of just their moving speed. So I'm going to be running Rune of Tormenting, which is fantastic just because our main damage is going to be Torment. Our trait line is going to improve our Confusion anyway, so we're going to get both Fusion increase and the Tormenting increase, so it's kind of best of both worlds. 33% conditions with Confusion, and then 45% on Torment just from the runes. So a lot of people do like Undead or all that stuff. I don't really care for that, because without that, Torment won't really be as effective, and the fact that when you use a heal skill, it applies 2 stacks of Torment on a 20-second cooldown, and with the fact that majority of every single heal skill that we're going to be using is going to have at least a 20-second cooldown. So every time that we have our heal skill up, we know that we're going to be able to at least be able to apply some extra Torment while we're healing back up. So like I said, we're always going to be on the offense no matter what we're doing. Carry On is going to give us that extra physical power while giving us that extra health. Yeah, the armor sucks, but at least with Vitality, it gives us that kind of breaking wall when we do get hit some Condy pressure, because we're going to get hit with a lot of Condys, but with us having almost 25,000 HP, kind of like balances it out. So basically, the main thing that you want to be doing is use Fusing Images, which is going to be your 3 skill for your Scepter. It's going to give you 6 stacks of Confusion on your foe, and when you want to time your blocks like flawlessly, so that way you could get 5 stacks of Torment on them on a freaking 4-second cooldown basically, and it's just going to be disgusting. So you're going to be able to apply so much like Torment, and on top of your auto attack on the Scepter is going to be applying a lot of Torment as well. So with all this stuff, we're going to be just like nuking everything. With us playing both midfield and very much in the face, we're going to be able to apply like a lot of pressure, so we can kind of roll around the battlefield as it sees fit. So I mean, if we see someone kind of like pew-pewing off the side, we could pretty much inflict some pressure. So those Rangers and stuff are going to be a big pain. Dragon Hunters are going to be a big pain. So if we see them kind of doing some mid-range fighting, just put the pressure on them. They want to back off, so then you'll be able to, by that time you'll have all your clones up, you can shatter. By the time all your clones super speed up to them, they're going to get hit. You could pretty much either blink up towards where they are and just put extra pressure on them. But yeah, so you kind of just do everything by your discretion. I just like this because you give fantastic team support by putting disgusting pressure on some people, especially when they see so much Torment. They want to just blow through all of their conditioned cleanses. Hopefully you guys enjoy this build. I'm so sorry that it's been so freaking long. That it's been, feels like forever since I posted anything. My life right now has been so busy with work and on top of like other little things, and I've been wanting to try to make these videos like not feel like that they're rushed, where like there's gonna be just flat out dirt. But hopefully you guys are just gonna bear with me, and definitely appreciate all of the views that I got on my last video. Like, I was not expecting it to reach like 1,000 views. Like, I was just expecting it to just be the traditional like 200-ish, because since I'm beginning on this whole like YouTube stuff, I would not be expecting to be getting like as much as, you know, like Brazil or Wooden Potatoes or World Avengers and Nike and all that stuff. Like, so I definitely appreciate like all you guys for being able to just see me as a newbie and be like, oh yeah, I just want to, you know, just kind of see what this guy is all about. So thanks for being able to give me all that extra support. And if you have any questions in regards to this, or if you are running something completely different from what I've overseen or anything like that, you can write down in the comments below. I'm also going to be throwing this build link in the comments and in the description along with everything else. So I'm going to be working on a bunch of other little things. I know my time has been sucking, but I'm going to do the best as I can. I kind of got a good foot in the door for all my other stuff. So until next time, guys, I will see you guys later.